Tel Aviv, Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed that their ground operation into Gaza City has begun, marking a major escalation in the ongoing conflict. Speaking at a press briefing on August 20th, 2025, Army spokesman Effie Defrin announced that what he described as Phase 2 of Operation Gideon's Chariots is now underway, following approval by the Chief of Staff and the political leadership. According to Defrin, Israeli forces are no longer waiting for conditions to shift. They have already launched preliminary manoeuvres and now hold positions at the outskirts of Gaza City. He framed the mission as a direct effort to dismantle Hamas's stronghold, not only above ground but also beneath it, by targeting tunnels and other underground infrastructure. Defrin argued that cutting off the civilian population's dependence on Hamas is essential to weakening the group's grip on Gaza. At the same time, Israeli officials stressed that humanitarian measures remain in place. The spokesman said new aid distribution centres will be established across the Strip and that residents will be warned and urged to evacuate before manoeuvres intensify. This, he claimed, is part of an effort to reduce civilian casualties while still pressing ahead with military objectives. The announcement also revealed the scale of Israel's preparations for a prolonged confrontation. The Chief of Staff has ordered 60,000 new reserve call-ups for early September, with an additional 20,000 extending service in active battalions. These reinforcements, alongside regular troops, will form the backbone of the next phase of fighting, indicating that Israel is preparing for a drawn-out and costly campaign. Defrin's briefing included details of a fierce battle earlier in the day in southern Khan Yunis. Fighters from the IDF's Kafir brigade, he said, repelled an assault by more than 15 militants who emerged from a tunnel shaft and opened fire with rifles and rocket-propelled grenades. In response, Israeli troops engaged directly, while tanks isolated the area and air support joined the fight. According to the army, the militants were successfully repelled, highlighting the complexity of tunnel-based warfare that Israel expects to face in the coming days. With Operation Gideon's Chariots now entering its most dangerous stage, the stakes could not be higher. Israel's strategy is aimed at dismantling Hamas's military and political stronghold in Gaza City, but the campaign also risks devastating urban battles and worsening the humanitarian toll on civilians. As Israeli troops dig in around Gaza's largest city, the world is watching closely to see whether this offensive delivers military success or whether it drags the region deeper into conflict and instability. In accordance with the directives of the political echelon and after the approval of the plans by the Chief of the General Staff, the IDF began the next phase of the campaign, Phase 2 of Operation Gideon's Chariots. We will deepen the damage to Hamas in Gaza City, a stronghold of governmental and military terror of the terrorist organisation. We will deepen the damage to the terror infrastructure above and below the ground and cut the population's dependence on Hamas. We are not waiting. We have begun the preliminary operations and the initial stages of the attack on Gaza City, and IDF forces are already holding the outskirts of Gaza City. We continue to enable assistance to the citizens of the Gaza Strip and are even expanding it. We will establish additional aid distribution centres. This method will cut the population's dependence on Hamas. In order to reduce the harm to civilians, the IDF will warn the population and allow it to evacuate for its own protection from the manoeuvre areas. As part of the preparations for the next phase, the Chief of the General Staff has instructed to issue 60,000 reserve call-up orders for the beginning of September. In addition to these orders, we will extend another 20,000 call-up orders to reserve personnel in the battalions that are already serving today. At the same time, we are preparing with additional regular forces. They are the ones who will form the basis for the next phase. Earlier today, fighters from the Kafir brigade thwarted an attack by terrorists on an outpost of the brigade's force in southern Khan Yunis. The fighters identified more than 15 terrorists who emerged from a tunnel shaft and opened fire, including RPG fire at the forces. In the battle that developed around the outpost, our forces repelled the terrorists. The fighters initiated contact and opened fire on the terrorists. The forces conducted a battle in cooperation with a tank force that isolated the area, along with air support.